Well, hey friends, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having an amazing and super productive day so far. Tamie M coming to you from TamieMCoaching.com. And what I want to talk to you about are some of my all-time favorite self-care strategies. Some things that I do on a regular basis that I teach my clients to do for themselves on a regular basis, mostly daily, that make all the difference. But before we dive into that, before we get started, I'll take a quick moment to introduce myself in case we haven't met before. Once again, my name is Tamie M. I'm an empowerment coach for women. I help women break free from painful relationship patterns so they can experience the love that they deserve through a proven 8-week process called the Freedom Class. And if you'd like some information on that, drop me a comment, send me a private message, and I'll send you the deets. But for the purpose of the conversation today, let's talk about self-care. Let's talk about self-care because this is a big one for a lot of you out there. And I know, it's been a big one for me. It's made all the difference in my ability to deal and heal and do the things that I want to do in life, right? So it really is foundational to living the quality life that we want to live. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. We have a neighbor with a Harley and I think he just rolled in the driveway. All the windows are open because it's super hot here. Anyway, sorry about the noise, guys. But where was I? So it really is foundational to living the quality of life that we want to be living, right? So not something that we want to just be bypassing and taking for granted. Like, it really is our responsibility to be taking proper care of ourselves. And if we're not getting the results that we want in life, and we don't like what's showing up on our radar, we don't like what we're confronted with on a regular basis, we're really not digging what we're attracting on a regular basis, well, we gotta own some responsibility in terms of what am I putting out there? What am I putting out there? And I don't mean running on the treadmill every day, given like, a compulsive maniac lunatic, wondering why we're not getting back what we're giving and we don't have any boundaries and we're exhausted. That's not what I mean. I mean, what kind of energy are we carrying? It all starts there. What kind of energy are we carrying? This is a container over which we as adults have full and complete responsibility for, and quite frankly, dominion over. Believe it or not, everything is energy. Everything is energy, including us. And the quality of the energy, the calibration of the energy, high or low, that we carry is not only our responsibility, but it informs everything around us. It informs the universe in terms of what it is that we are available for. Okay, so what we're doing on a regular basis, what we're doing on a daily basis to self-care, self-nurture, take care of ourselves, managing our energy, our vibration, our frequency, managing our energetic force field, critical, absolutely freaking critical. So I'm going to run through a list. Some of these things are really basic. Some of them you may already be aware of, and some of them may be new to you, but I'll run through a list of the things that I work towards doing on a daily basis, and I have my clients doing the same thing to support them in their transformational process, to support them in their healing journey, because it makes all the difference, okay? Like I said, our energy informs everything else around us, so we really want to get good at carrying the vibration that we choose to carry so that we can attract higher vibrational experiences, other people who vibrate at a higher level, the kind of experiences that we want to attract into our lives. So, first and foremost, very simple, and you probably hear this all the time, but maybe you need to hear it again. Water. Clean, pure Water, super foundational in terms of self-care, super foundational. This is my water bottle. It's a fabulous, fabulous bottle that no matter where I am, with the exception of salt water, I can put water into this baby, and that filters out 99.9% of toxins and pathogens and anything that would be found. So if I'm traveling, I can fill this up and I'm drinking safe water. It's that freaking powerful. But I drink from this baby every day, and I shoot for 6 to 8 of these. I literally keep track. I have a daily method of operation that I work off of, and up in the top right hand corner is how much water did I hit today. And I reach for 6 to 8 of these, which is 3 to 4 liters of water, clean, pure water, the cleanest, purest water. You don't want to be drinking water from the tap. You want to be drinking the cleanest, purest water that you can get your hands on. Water out of the plastic bottles. Those plastic bottles are carcinogenic, so you know, we're drinking all that liquid chemical, right? So not a good idea. If that's all I have access to, I run it through this and it purifies the water for me, right? Lots and lots of water. You want to stay hydrated for all kinds of reasons, So that's really foundational. I start there in terms of self-care. Next on the list would be dense nutrition. Dense nutrition. What we consume matters. Again, we are energy. Our energy, our vibrational frequency informs everything around us. It informs the universe. So when we are eating lots of fresh, raw, organic, high water content, fruits and vegetables, leaning more in the direction of vegetables. When we're eating clean, high quality vegetables, clean protein, when we're eating really, really well, it has an impact on our energetic force field. It has an impact on how we feel, especially for those of us who have addictive biochemistry. You may not even be aware that you have addictive biochemistry. But if we are all jacked up on caffeine, wheat, sugar, processed foods, if we are all jacked up on what that stuff does to our brain chemistry, and we're getting the highs and the lows and the highs and the lows. You know, in 12-step recovery, they talk about the dry drunk syndrome, which has everything to do with your brain's biochemistry. If you are not feeling like you are emotionally stable and you're jacked up on, again, wheat, sugar, caffeine, alcohol, on a daily basis, on a regular basis, that's gonna mess with your brain's biochemistry. It's gonna mess with how you feel. It's going to mess with the vibration that you carry. It's gonna mess with everything. So foundational is clean eating, and I am a firm believer in high quality clean supplements also. So I also supplement my clean eating with high quality clean supplements. Really, really important. Next on the list, prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation. I think we all have some sort of a spiritual relationship, whether we pay attention to it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not, or whether it's like in the forefront and very important to us. I believe that we all have some concept of a higher power, of our own understanding, and that's all you need to get started. Taking time in the morning for you to get still, to be still, and clear your mind and just be, for whatever that is, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. You might start off with 2 minutes and grow from there. Rather than hopping out of bed, chugging coffee, gobbling down some sugar, run on the treadmill for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and doing that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. How about taking a step back and taking some time for you to reboot, reset, get still, be calm, plug in to a power greater than yourself? and add some prayer to that. Add some conversation, some communion. Talk to the universe. Tell the universe what it is that you are challenged with. Ask for guidance. Ask for help. Ask for support. Ask for answers. And trust that they will come. Really, really, really key in my daily self-care routine. Whether or not I am doing that makes all the difference in my frame of mind. All the difference. Walking through life here on planet Earth, especially challenged by many of the things that many of us have had to live with or are currently living with, without relying on a higher power of our understanding for support and guidance, I trust, I know, I fully believe that I am guided, that I am surrounded, that I am protected, and wherever I go, they go before me. I fully, fully believe that. And taking time to plug into that and become consciously aware of that and have that conversation, again, makes all the difference. Big, big, big piece of the puzzle in terms of self-care for me. Next, reading. What are you reading? Reading can change your life. It's called bibliotherapy. Literally, information isn't going to heal us per se, but it's a really great place to start. Rewiring our brains and starting to get rid of some of the garbage and untie some of the knots from some of the lies and some of the bullshit that we've picked up along the way, and beginning to see our lives with a little more clarity and a little more understanding. Reading voraciously, as you can see, just from the wall behind me. My books are my most treasured, absolutely my most treasured belongings. And reading changed my life when I started reading voraciously 20 plus years ago. Absolutely began to change my life. Now, what we're reading matters, right? Like if we're reading glossy magazines, that's fun to do sometimes, but if that's, if we're reading, romance novels, if we're reading trashy novels, if all we're reading is murder mysteries and that sort of thing, like that's not really going to feed the soul, right? So you want to gravitate towards stuff that's really going to help lift you and build you up and educate you and inform you and also feed you spiritually. For years, I read scripture because that's where I was and that's what I was into and that's what worked for me. Now it's A Course in Miracles. For I don't know how many years now, it's A Course in Miracles. Every morning I spend time studying this book. I love it. It feeds my soul. And I can tell you, if you're not familiar with this particular spiritual text, in 2009, I went through some major big heavy duty stuff in my life, and the study of this book, I believe, was instrumental in healing what I was going through at the time. I was going through some stuff that I now guide clients to go through, and it was for me at the time very much like having a tumor that was buried in my heart removed, like open heart surgery without the anesthetic. It was excruciatingly painful to be walking the path that I had to walk at that particular time, and spending time in that spiritual text every day was instrumental in my healing process. Didn't happen overnight, doesn't necessarily happen in a day, a week, or even a month. We have to be devoted. These are practices that we practice, right, on a daily basis. We're not always going to be perfect at it. We're going to fall off the beam. The key thing is we get back on the beam. So find what works for you. Some sort of spiritual text, some sort of personal development book, some teacher out there that really resonates with you, and get your nose in that book on a daily basis and feed your soul, feed your mind, feed your heart, and feed your soul some really, really high vibrational good stuff. Critical for self-care. What do I have next? Affirmations and mirror work. Affirmations and mirror work are really, really powerful. It's something I've done on and off over the years as I felt the need to. Louise Hay, actually there's a book somewhere right behind me. Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, is chock full of all kinds of life transforming affirmations. And I think it was many years ago when I first came across that book that I started doing them consistently for a period in time. And I ultimately learned that if you combine affirmations with mirror work, within 15 minutes of waking up, super powerful. The first 15 minutes upon waking is the time when we are most easily able to access our unconscious minds. 5% of the game is conscious. 95% of the game is unconscious. And within that first 15-minute period, we are most easily able to access our unconscious minds. And that's really the purpose of affirmations, right? Rewiring, reprogramming our unconscious minds. Now, if you combine that with mirror work, stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eyeballs, tell yourself how freaking fabulous you are, how awesome you are, what an amazing job you're doing, how much you love yourself, which might be uber uncomfortable at first, but hey, we're talking self-care here, which is all about loving and nurturing you. So no matter how uncomfortable it is at first, the more uncomfortable it is, the more you actually need to do it. Look yourself in the eyeball and have a little conversation first thing in the morning, and then go through a series of affirmations. And again, do it within the first 15 minutes of waking up. Try that for 30, 60, 90 days and see what kind of a shift you experience. You should feel the shift right away if you're new to this, but as you do it cumulatively over time, you are shifting, my friend. You are rewiring your unconscious mind. You are shifting and you are vibrating at a higher and higher and higher level the more that you do it. Very, very powerful stuff. Another thing that I do every day, I have a whole ritual that I go through every morning in terms of setting myself up and really being the container for the vibration that I want to carry. Really important given the kind of work that I'm doing also, but no matter what kind of work you're doing, it's important to take some time to put together a ritual that really works for you. So another thing that I do is I smudge. So this is sage that I buy at the health food store. This is, as I understand it, a Native American tradition, and essentially what this does, I light it, it gives off a really sweet smelling smoke, and I sage my entire body, which fundamentally cleanses my energetic force field. Now that might sound a little woo-woo to some of you, or some of you might already be on board with it, but I can tell you, and my clients who try it, who go through the Freedom Class and are given all of these tools to play with and use and decide which ones work for them, those that actually sage on a regular basis tell me all the time how they feel it right away. And I feel it right away. I sage and then I go through a grounding and shielding exercise, and then I go into my prayer and meditation and what have you. And especially those of us who are highly empathic, which many of you who follow my work are, we feel the difference. You can feel the difference. There is a definite shift, and the whole purpose of this is to cleanse your energetic force field. You can also smudge your entire house to cleanse it of any sort of negative energy. If you've had people in your home and there's been, you know, a little toxicity or toxic residue left behind, like whatever the circumstance is that you might be dealing with, getting yourself some sage, a nice sage stick from your local health food store, and smudging your house and smudging yourself. They say to smudge your house on a weekly basis. I'm going to be honest, I probably do it once a month. It's just me, my guy here. We carry a really nice, clean, high energy. So once a month works for us. We don't have a lot of people coming and going. Depending on your household, you might want to do it once a week, and smudging yourself on a daily basis. Really, really good practice. Time in nature and time with animals. Animals carry a really high vibration. Time in nature really helps to ground us and clear our energetic force fields as well. Really, really, really powerful thing to do. We live an hour to the Rocky Mountains, and I realize that I've been living here for 5 years and I don't get there enough, so I've made a new commitment to get there a whole lot more frequently. Just breathing the fresh mountain air makes a huge difference. Being surrounded by the Rocky Mountains shifts my energy. So wherever you are on the planet, get out into nature. You might be lucky enough to live close to the ocean, or maybe it's a lake, or maybe it's just some fabulous park in your town or your city. Get out into nature. Spend some time with animals and just allow that higher vibration to wash over you. And possibly my all-time favorite, salt baths. Almost every night I soak for 20 minutes. I buy the cleanest, purest salt that I can find, and I soak for a minimum of 20 minutes pretty much every night. Definitely if I've been out socializing, if I've been out in a crowd, if I've been out, you know, just out of our little bubble here, at the mall, whatever it is, right? Again, everything is energy, and we are energy, and we pick up other people's energy, especially those of us who are highly empathic. So self-care is critical. And salt baths, I'm sure it's been 15 to 20 years now. I've been doing that consistently with a really high quality, clean, pure salt that I get from the health food store. I buy a big 10-kilogram bag, excuse me, once a month. I use 3 cups. I soak for a minimum, that's right, 3 full cups. You don't just toss a handful of salt in your tub. You want 3 full cups, soak for a minimum of 20 minutes, and tell me how you feel after. Everyone that I have introduced to this practice agrees that it's life-changing. The folks who introduced it to me years ago at a spiritual workshop I attended, again 15 to 20 years ago, I've been doing it ever since. I'll forever be grateful that they taught me to do that. It is so, so important. Very, very powerful. It detoxes our body, it cleanses our energetic force field, it does all kinds of really good stuff for us. So try putting that into practice on a regular basis in terms of self-care, and see how that works for you. Guys, I hope you got some value out of this today. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to like, comment, and or share. If you hopped on late, be sure to go back and watch the replay so that you can catch all the tips. Once again, my name is Tamie M. I am an empowerment coach for women. I help women break free from painful relationship patterns so they can experience the love that they deserve through a proven 8-week process called the Freedom Class. And if you're interested in some details, just drop me a comment or send me a private message. We are actually opening up a group version of the program starting at the end of the month, so we're super excited about that. It's making it a whole lot more accessible for a whole lot more people, so really, really excited about that. So again, if you liked what you heard, don't forget to like, comment, and or share. Drop me a comment, send me a private message if you have any questions or I can help you in any way. Otherwise, thank you, friends, for hopping on. I appreciate all of you, and go enjoy the rest of your day. Much love. Mwah. Bye for now. Oh yeah, as always, know your value and unlock your freedom. Bye for now.